Hi guys, how's it going? It's Ben Cullen, the Bake King. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I made the chicken burger cake. I'm going to be putting new videos up all the time, showing the behind the scene tutorial step-by-steps of how I make the cakes that I make. This was one of my favourites that I've made because the technique to make the breadcrumb chicken I sort of stumbled across by accident. I was making a separate cake and it was using Rice Krispies, and I spilt some of the Rice Krispies on the sugar paste, and then it gave me an idea. So anyway, let's get started. The first thing I do is take a small cake tier. I've sliced it in half and I'm just rounding it out. So what I want to do is keep the bottom one, I've cut it into a circle, but the top one I want a dome. So I'm going to cut it into a circle but then sort of dome out the edges so it makes that top of the bun kind of shape. And then I'm just going to cover both of those elements in ganache. So with this cake I'm going to make each separate element, the two bits of the bun and the chicken, as 3 separate cakes and actually stack them like you would a burger. So for the chicken in the middle, you can really have any shape you want. They're all different shapes, aren't they? So do what you want with the chicken breast. It's going to get a lump of cake, cut it into whatever shape you want, and ganache it. I use the sugar paste to cover my cakes. So first of all, I'm going to make this chicken. So what I've done is I've just covered the whole thing with sugar paste, and now I'm going to start to detail it. This detailing is going to get covered with my clever tip that I stumbled upon, but use your Dresden tool, give it some ridges, some ripples, just so that when you do put that breadcrumb coat on top, it's not just going to be flat and boring, it's going to have like shaded areas and different depth. Now for the top of the bun and the bottom of the bun, we want this quite smooth, so try and get a nice flat bit of sugar paste and make it smooth and keep it very smooth, especially for the top one, because the style of bun we're going for is just that smooth top with the little seeds on top. Once it is all done and nice and smooth, scrunch up some cling film. For this I just want a subtle kind of creased texture like bread would have, like the top of a bun would have, so I'm using cling film. I'm just going to go around the base of it as well and just do some little indents, just some little flicks up, sometimes seen on buns. For the bottom one I want the inside of it to be really rigid. Don't worry about the middle being completely covered, because remember your chicken burger is going to go on that bit. Now for the main technique. So this is the technique that I stumbled upon by accident while making another cake. Knew it would work, but I didn't think it would work this well. I was so happy with it. So I just put some cling film down, and then I poured Rice Krispies in the middle. Then I put cling film on top, and now I'm just going to get my rolling pin and smash it all up. So you don't want it to go to complete dust, like a breadcrumb texture basically. Then I'm going to cover the chicken breast sort of lump of cake that I made, cover that in water. So I'm just literally going to roll it in and about that. Look at that, I knew straight away when I did this, I was like, oh my god, I'm so happy with this. Then what I'm going to do is just airbrush. So I'm just using a mixture of yellow and red airbrushes to create an orange. Also add a tiny bit of black if you want it to go a bit more brown, but for the start bit, for all 3, I want this yellow kind of oven baked. I'd add yellow to your cup and a small pinch of red, and then build up, adding a little bit more of red to get more of the orange tones as you go. So I want it like ombre from the top, so leaving it quite white towards the bottom of the dome bun, and then go really flat on against your surface with the airbrush and just airbrush really close to the bottom. You can also do this with a paintbrush. I just usually like to prefer to use an airbrush. Now what I've done is a little clever trick. I've took the end off the airbrush, I've unscrewed the end. I use a Spectrum Flow airbrush. So if you use a Spectrum Flow airbrush, you can unscrew the end so you can just see the needle pointing out. Then when you pull the trigger, it will do like this splat effect. It's the same principle as getting a paintbrush, dipping it in and flicking like that, and you'll get like little specks. Now I'm going to start stacking, so just sticking a little bit of ganache in between each one and piling up the chicken burger. I was so happy doing this. Now I'm just using a paintbrush to do those finer details, just a bit more brown, really thin along the edges where it would have crisped up a bit, where it would have burnt a little bit. And then to add the seeds on top of the bun, rolling up tiny little seed shapes and just dotting them on top. Like I say, one of my favourite food illusion cakes that I've made so far. So thanks very much for watching. Let me know what you guys think. If any of you make the cake, as always, please send it to me. I'd love to see your cakes. Thanks so much for your support. Don't forget to subscribe, like the videos, and I'll see you all next time on the next video.